Welcome to my channel. My name is Dennis. In this video I'll be working out the total cost of ownership of the Tesla Model Y if I was to drive it 5,000 kilometers, 10,000 kilometers or 20,000 kilometers a year. Now stick around till the end of the video to see where the Model Y comes in my value leaderboard. I normally really enjoy doing research on cars, but Tesla were a complete nightmare when it comes to working out how much their cars cost to maintain. I'll quickly explain how I normally do research on cars. The first step is I ring the parts department, I get the cost of all the wear and tear components, and then the second step is I get all the servicing costs. 9 times out of 10 the servicing costs are on their website. If not, the service department will have this information for me. It normally takes anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. Unfortunately, when it comes to Tesla, it wasn't that simple. The short version is, first I rang the 1-800 number. They said they didn't have that information. Because my local Tesla outlet doesn't have a direct line, I drove to the service department here in Brisbane. They also couldn't give me the cost of the parts or the recommended servicing cost. The only price they disclosed was the labour cost. However, they did reassure me that it doesn't cost much to maintain a Tesla. And the manager said my best bet was to ring the 1-800 number again. So I drove back home and once again rang the number. Now, but this time they said they wouldn't actually give me that information. Very strange. Apologies in advance for not getting the exact figures, but it wasn't for the want of not trying. Look, I'm actually pretty confident with the figures that I did come up with. I'll explain as I go through my spreadsheet. Now, by the way, if you're in Australia, give Tesla a call on this number and try and get a price out of them. If you manage to get a price, please let me know and I will do an updated video. Look, the way I see it is, if they are as cheap to maintain, why aren't they broadcasting it to the world, not keeping it a top secret? I just found the whole experience very strange. That's the end of my rant. Now, by the way, I have nothing against Tesla. I actually really like what they're trying to do. I like their cars. I'm just telling you what my experience was like. Now, before I jump onto the computer and start going over the figures, I'd greatly appreciate it if you'd subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification next to it. That would really help me out. The more people that subscribe, the more time that I can invest in making videos like this one. Okay, without further ado, let's jump onto the computer and start going over the figures. For those of you who are new to my channel, I'll quickly run through my spreadsheet. But also, if you are a loyal subscriber, you'll notice that it's slightly different to what you're used to, and that's to accommodate for the electric car. I'm very excited to announce that this is the first electric car that I've done. Now, starting off at step 1, we've got car depreciation, running costs and finance. Step 2, we've got fixed costs, and step 3, we've got dimensions, weight and performance. So starting off at step 1, to new people that are watching, I'll quickly explain what I do here. Now, I like to put 2 cars up against each other to work out which one's more expensive. I guess it is a very geeky drag race, a lot less exciting, but nonetheless, I like it and I hope you do too. Now, today I'm putting the Model Y up against a very efficient, popular SUV, and this is the Toyota RAV4. Now, to close the price gap somewhat, I'm picking the range-topping RAV4 Edge. I know if you're in the market for a Tesla and the last car you would be considering is a Toyota RAV4, but let's have a little bit of fun with it and work out how many kilometers I need to be doing to justify buying the Tesla, just strictly from a financial perspective. Stick around until the end of the video for this. If you'd like me to compare the Model Y against any other car, please let me know in the comment section below. I'd greatly appreciate it. Now, starting off at step 1, up here we've got the petrol car. So this is for the RAV4. The RAV4 is doing 4.9 litres per 100 kilometers, and the fuel is costing, $2.20 a litre. Now, moving on to the electric car, the Model Y. So the Model Y is doing 172 watt hours per kilometer. Now, the cost per kilowatt is, I'm just paying just under 20 cents a kilowatt hour. The charging efficiency is 90%. Now, manufacturer's warranty. The Model Y comes with 4 years or 80,000 kilometers, whichever comes first. And the battery comes with 8 years or 160,000 kilometers, whichever comes first, with a minimum of 70% retention of battery capacity. Now, the Toyota RAV4, hear this, right? Not only does it have 5 years unlimited kilometers, but if you stick to their annual service schedule, they will extend the engine and drivetrain warranty to 7 years and the hybrid battery cover to 10 years. This is a great warranty by Toyota. Hats off to them. Moving on to the car purchase price, the Tesla is $21,849.35 more expensive than the RAV4. And now moving on to the car sale price. Normally in this section, I jump on the car sales to see what these cars are selling for, but as the Model Y, and the RAV4 hasn't been around for 5 years, a little more research was required. I looked up 2 websites. The first one was an Australian website called Redbook. I wanted to find out what the Model S has been depreciating by over 5 years, as it has been in Australia since 2017. On average, they have depreciated by around the 35% during this period. The second website that I checked out was an American site called Car Edge. As the Model Y has been in America almost 2.5 years, they have a lot more data on the sale figures than we do here in Australia. They are predicting a depreciation of 39% for the Tesla and 21% for the Toyota RAV4. So I decided to be nice to Tesla here and go with the Australian, depreciation by 35%. And I'm being not so nice to the RAV4 because currently hybrids here in Australia are just really holding their value really well. I guess Toyota has a great reputation. They build really reliable cars. They're standing over them with their warranty. A 5-year-old Toyota Camry here pretty much hasn't depreciated at all. It's like 10% maybe since new. I'm being very hard on the RAV4 here with the 22%, but let's leave it at the 22%. We're saying that we own the vehicles for 5 years and we're doing 10,000 kilometers a year. The forecasted maintenance costs over the life of the vehicle, they're both covered under the, you're going to be driving the Model Y 1 year outside that manufacturer's warranty. So bear in mind, if anything goes wrong during this period, you'll be out of pocket, where the RAV4 is covered under that 5 years manufacturer warranty. So once again, I'm being nice to the Tesla here. Now, servicing costs. I'm getting an average cost per service over 10 services. Toyota is very easy to forecast here. That works out at being, $374.88 every 15,000 kilometers or 12 months, whichever occurs first. Now with the Tesla, like I mentioned earlier in the video, they did not give me this information. I found a website called motor1.com. Now they had an average cost to service a Tesla. I took their prices and converted them straight from American dollars to Australian dollars. I feel our prices down here in Australia would be more expensive simply because everything down here is more expensive. But once again, I'm being nice to Tesla here and I won't add the Australian loading to the price. So that's coming in at $415.68 a year. The intervals are every 50,000 kilometers. It isn't going to be as regular as a combustion engine because you don't have all those moving components. I might be away out here as well. What they did tell me was that the car will suggest when you should come in for a service. The tire costs are actually cheaper on the Tesla over the RAV4. The braking components are a lot more expensive on the Tesla Model Y, and I'll explain where I got these prices from. So the Tesla Model Y, their labor rate is $270 an hour. Now that is up there with the likes of BMW. I think they're around $295 an hour. So I'm predicting that their the rotors and pads will be around the same price as BMW X5. So that's where I'm putting that in here. So here we've got what the components cost, the labor time. So I'm allowing 1 hour for pads, replacing the pads, 2 hours for replacing the rotors. That's my total labor cost, and this is labor plus components. So I'm forecasting that the braking costs are, you know, almost double that of the RAV4. Because you've got all that regenerative braking, it's almost negligible what you will be spending on braking components anyway. If you drive these cars right, you'll rarely have to use the friction between the pads and the rotors to bring the car to a stop. Yes, it's hard to imagine, but all the Teslas do have a 12-volt battery in them as well. So I've got that again price from the BMW. It might be cheaper, it might be less, but again, Tesla wouldn't tell me. Moving on to finance, we're leaving opportunity cost blank, and we're saying that we're buying the vehicle outright. Step 2, we've got cost per year. The registration is cheaper in the Model Y because it's an electric car, but the insurance is a lot more expensive. Bear in mind the excess is set at $1,200. So to keep the Model Y on the road, it's going to cost you an extra $512.65 a year. Cost per month, leaving that blank, and one-off payments, leaving that blank. Moving on to step 3, dimensions, weight and performance. This has no implication on the cost of the vehicle, but I like to fill it out anyway. It highlights a few interesting facts. Bear in mind the power is in kilowatts and the torque is in Newton meters. There's no torque figures out for the Model Y yet. In acceleration, the Model Y is around 2 seconds faster, 0 to 100. The Model Y is longer, wider, lower, and it weighs only 184 kilos more than the RAV4. I was surprised by this. I thought this gap would be much bigger. Okay, the moment that we've all been waiting for, the total cost of ownership over 5 years doing 10,000 kilometers a year is, drum roll, the Model Y will set you back $43,520.66, and the RAV4 will set you back $28,838.08. So that's a difference of $14,682.58. So that works out to being a saving of $56.47 a week. Bear in mind that that's including the sale of the vehicle, so the depreciation. So the average out-of-pocket cost. So this is how much would be coming out of your wages on average to run these two cars. So the Model Y is $71.07 and the RAV4 is $71.11, only 4-cent difference between them. I've never had a comparison this close before. If you're finding this video interesting, please give it a like. This will help my video be recommended to more people on YouTube. Down here we've got a summary of all the costs. So we see here the electric and fuel cost. So despite having one of the most fuel efficient cars here in the RAV4, you're still spending an extra almost $3,500 in energy. What's really hurting the Model Y here is the forecasted depreciation. Now let's say that we do 5,000 kilometers a year. That's a saving of $62.33 a week if you buy the RAV4. Now let's say that we do 20,000 kilometers a year. Now you'll save $41.87 a week. Now let's quickly try and work out how many kilometers you'd have to travel to justify buying the Model Y. So if you do 50,000 kilometers a year, you're better off buying the Model Y. But bear in mind, there is a but. You're driving a lot more kilometers. The Model Y will be out of warranty after less than 2 years, and the battery will be out of warranty in less than 4 years. So something to bear in mind, where with the RAV4, it'll all be covered under warranty. And finally, let's see where these two cars come in my value leaderboard. These figures are based on traveling 13,000 kilometers a year over 5 years. This is the average distance that we travel here in Australia, and I'm not including opportunity costs in these figures. So the RAV4 sits currently in third position, just behind the Toyota Camry hybrid, and the Tesla sits in 8th position, just behind the Toyota GR Yaris, which is not a bad result with Tesla when you consider, you know, the other car that might be in its competition is the BMW X5 xDrive 30D, and that's in 18th position, so it's well ahead of the BMW X5. If you would like a closer look at any car in particular, by all means check out their video. If you like this video and want to see more content like this, please subscribe and hit the bell notification next to it. This way you won't miss out on future videos to come. Also, once I reach 1,000 subscribers, I'll make this spreadsheet available for download so you can put in your own unique details. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click here, and thanks for watching. Hope to see you all again soon. Bye for now.